Welcome to another episode of Women in Focus. I am in the company of two most beautiful young women who know what makeup is and who know how your hair should be. I should have gotten my makeup and my hair done from them, but that's for another day. Their names are Harp and Shannon. So they own a company called Pink Orchid, which has got, I think it's a studio, and they do a lot of stuff in there. So let's interview them and find out what makes them tick. You're most welcome in our program, Harp and Shannon. How are you guys doing?
We're great. Thank you so much for coming to our home and interviewing us. This means so much to us. Growing up as children, we remember watching your show, and this is just surreal for us, that the fact that you're even interviewing us. I have to pinch myself to even be like, is this happening?
Shall I pinch you?
Yeah. Please touch me.
There you go. Harp, Shannon, how are you doing?
Very well. Really excited to be here and share our story with you, and of course be sharing your company and
the viewers.
And the viewers. It's really exciting. This is
Yes.
it's a big deal for us, and our families are very excited that we're meeting with you today as well.
Now, both of you are related to each other,
Yes.
right? You are a Sohal and you're a Man.
Yes.
Those are our married names.
Ah.
But my mom, Preet Rai, and Daljit Rai, which is her father, are brother and sister.
Oh,
So she's my mama's daughter, and I'm her bua's daughter.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's a very beautiful relationship, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
So both of you like sisters then?
We are, and people often ask us, how do you both cope with having a partnership in a business and working with cousins? I'm like, well, we could get mad at each other, and we have to see each other because we're related. So
we literally cannot live without each other.
yeah.
Isn't
We
that
talk to
beautiful?
each other like 6-7 times a day.
Yeah.
Even if we fight about something, like 5 minutes later, we're like, so what are you
So
doing?
we just kind of ignore it and text each other
What are you
like,
doing
so
later? How are the kids? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So were you both born in Canada?
Yes, we
Yes.
were.
Okay. So let's go back
Okay.
to your childhood.
Okay.
Tell me, how was it? Your parents must have come, both your parents must have come here as immigrants, or were they born here? No.
No, Shannon, why don't you go first?
Well, my dad came here. My parents were both married in Kamloops in '74.
Okay.
And that's when my older sister was born.
Right.
I followed a couple of years later.
Right.
You know, they're the immigrant stream. They opened up businesses. They were quite successful. Had some that failed, some that went well. I have 3 lovely sisters and a brother.
Oh, wow.
Big family.
Yes.
And you know, with our parents too, and in our families, you know, a lot of our parents basically kept having children until they had boys.
Yeah.
And that's our family story too.
Both of them?
Yeah, and we're
Yes.
both number 2s in our family.
Okay.
We're the second children.
Our grandfather, Bapuji, he was a pioneer. He was one of the first to come to Canada.
Oh, okay.
So he was, first generation. He was first generation
Yes.
for us. So it was really amazing growing up. We had a huge family. Like she
Yeah.
said,
You didn't need to invite anybody
no,
from outside.
we don't have friends.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
just have a
We
lot
have
of
family.
cousins. So our parents had 10 children, and those 10 children had a minimum of 5 children. So that was
That's beautiful.
yeah. So we would just go to each other's houses,
Yes.
and there'd be kids everywhere, lots of food, lots of entertainment. So family values is just infused in our core, and we really we love our families. And I too have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. So she has 5 siblings. There's
Yeah.
siblings of 5, and same with me.
Right.
And we, growing up, thought we were going to have lots of children too. But this day and age, it's really hard to manage.
But you guys are married and you do have children.
Yes.
We do, yes.
Yeah.
I have a 3-week-old and a 3-year-old.
Wow.
And Shannon
I
has.
have an 8-year-old and a 17-month-old.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
And apart from all that, I mean, the busyness of your life, you run a studio.
Yes.
So who came up with that idea? I don't want to divide it, but I know that both of you must have said, let's just do this, let's just do this. How did it happen?
We both were contacted by so many friends and family. Like, we're the Shakeen nerds of our family. Like, we love Sud Ki Bindi. We consult each other. What are you wearing to this function? What are you wearing? Like, we just, We love it. It's beautiful. I get that passion from my mom,
Okay.
who is so into like
Yeah.
clothing and jewelry, and I've
Right.
inherited this disease of
It's not a disease, I think.
well, financially it can be, but from my mom, and it was Harp's Bibi, her Nani ji, who was very much into like Surki Bindi as well.
Yeah.
So
to
that
this
was
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost 80, still gets pedicures, manicures, wears lipstick, blush.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
so that kind of was like ingrained in our soul. It's written in our DNA, and that's what we've been raised to see.
Yes.
And with my mom, everyone's like, they always say "Preet di kudiyan,"
Right.
Inni soni, like Sonia rakh diya. Like
Right.
she loved to like dress us up and do
Yeah.
lots of makeup. And then of course BB loved the midiyan
Yeah.
and painting your nails
And using her lipstick to do her blush and her lipstick. So growing up, going to school, I was the only one that had my hair done every single day in a different French braid or a different ribbon in there. And that's where my passion grew,
Right.
to do hair and makeup. And my dad, he was the strictest dad anyone could have.
Really?
So here I had this dad that told me I was never allowed to do hair and makeup, and I had this bibi that raised me while my mom went to work that would be like, shh, you don't have to tell him, let's just put on lipstick, and like send me off
So
to
now
school.
your BB is your dad's mum.
No, my BBG is my mom's
Mom's mom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, mom's mom, my nanny.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that interesting?
We grew up together. She actually lived with us, and so did my papaji as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Now, Indians do have the parents and the grandparents
Yes.
living with the family.
Yes.
And so your family did that.
Yes.
When you guys were growing up, did you feel that you had to get married amongst Indians, or was that something that was
know-
understood back of your mind, or were you allowed to go out?
For
she has no
myself,
choice.
yeah. For myself, I was dating my high school sweetheart, who is
Okay.
now my husband.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were dating. We were together 16 years now, married for 10. But I knew, like, this is, for example, when he asked me out for grad in grade 10, I kept saying no until he was so persistent, and I said to him, listen, if we are going to date, my dad will find out. You will have to marry me.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I'm okay with that. So that's how strict it was in my household.
Really?
But then my in-laws are they're strict as well, but not really.
Not
Like
that.
it was going into that home was a little bit different. Whereas growing up, I knew I had to marry an Indian boy because that's what
Yes.
my dad wanted. And for Shannon, it's your sisters have.
Well, I've got a very eclectic family.
Yeah.
Like my younger sister is married to her high school sweetheart. He's a
Right.
redhead. Hey, Chris, how's it going, Mr. Finley? My other sister married a Catholic.
Right.
My older sister just got married to a Portuguese guy.
Right.
So, I married out of caste, and I did get a lot of flack for that. I was the first one in my house to get married.
Yeah.
And wow, did I hear it from my mom.
Everyone.
Yeah, from my mom, and no, mostly just my mom.
Yeah.
Most family was good.
But you paved the way for the rest of them.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I kind of feel like in my family, I was open to meeting anyone of any ethnicity as
Right.
long as I knew the person was had a
Decent
good moral
human
compass,
being, yes.
and they would have been a good father and a good partner. I was open to it. I just happened to meet someone who
was
fit that
Indian.
bill, who was Indian.
Yeah.
So
I want to go a little bit more into the family values, but your business is very important as well.
Yeah.
Let's take a short commercial break
Sure.
and come back to that. We've got two beautiful young women that we are interviewing from Pink Orchid Studios, Harp and Shannon. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.